Taraji P. Henson posted 10 photos from a night out at the NBA Finals, and instead of the comment section filling with love about her denim-on-denim look and her beat face, it turned into a full-scale interrogation about whether she'd had work done. That was Thursday, June 11th. By Friday, she'd had enough, jumped into her own comments section, and let people have it, in all caps, with zero apology. And given everything this woman has been dealing with over the past 2 years, nobody who's been paying attention should be surprised. On the evening of June 10, Taraji attended Game 4 of the 2026 NBA Finals at Madison Square Garden, Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs. She went out in what stylist Colin Carter put together, an all-denim look with a dramatic collar, baggy jeans, denim boots, and sparkly jewelry. She did her own glam, something she made a point to call out in the caption. The following day, she dropped a 10-slide carousel on Instagram. BIGKNIC's energy stepped out last night in all denim and diamonds. It was a moment. What a game. That was the whole energy. She was celebrating, showing off, cheering on her team, the kind of post that should get people talking about the fit or the game. Instead, the comments immediately zeroed in on her face. The problem, according to the people doing the speculating, was that one photo, reportedly the first in the carousel, looked noticeably different from the others taken that same night. Could have been the lighting, could have been the angle, could have been the contour. She applied herself, but some commenters decided none of that was the explanation. One person said they couldn't figure out who was even in the first photo. Another went straight for her nose, claiming it looked different. Someone else dropped, "Something looks different," with an eyes emoji, which is the internet's version of pulling a fire alarm. By the time the post was circulating across Black celebrity social media, people were openly debating whether she'd gone under the knife. Some framed it as a compliment, calling her ageless, saying she was aging backwards, while still suggesting that natural aging couldn't account for what they were seeing. That's when Taraji stepped in, responding directly to the "something looks different" comment. She wrote, and this is a direct quote, reported independently by both The Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked on June 12th. "Y'all kill me with this SHAVEDONEMATA, Then she made an argument that should have ended the whole conversation immediately. IAMONBROADWA, live theater. When the hell would I have time for surgery? Top the madness. That Broadway point is not just a clapback. It's actually a pretty airtight logistical rebuttal. Taraji is currently 8 shows a week into her Broadway debut. She plays Bertha Hawley in the 2026 revival of August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone at the Ethel Barrymore Theater, opposite Cedric the Entertainer, with Ruben Santiago Hudson and Joshua Boone, directed by Debbie Allen. Production opened April 25th and runs through July 26th. It's pulled in over $9 million at the box office and earned 5 Tony nominations. This is not a light gig. Live theater has no understudy days for elective recovery, no reshoots, no editing suite. You are there in front of a packed house every single night. The idea that someone performs 8 shows a week at that level while also recovering from cosmetic surgery is not a realistic scenario, and Taraji made sure everyone understood that. This wasn't the first time her face became a topic of debate. Though the speculation has been circling for well over a year, hitting a new peak with almost every public appearance. In May 2025, she hosted the Amphar Gala at Cannes in a white Garv Gupta gown and her pixie cut with blonde highlights. The photos generated a split reaction. Some fans immediately wondered whether she'd had light work done, while others pushed back hard and said the issue wasn't surgery, it was burnout. One commenter put it plainly, "Taraji been looking exhausted ever since the Color Purple press tour, and she started telling her truth. My girl need a break." That read, "wasn't unfair." In late 2023 and into early 2024, Henson went through one of the most publicly draining stretches of her career while promoting the Oprah Winfrey-produced Color Purple remake, in which she played Shug Avery. She spoke candidly about pay inequality for Black women in Hollywood. The media coverage painted her in some corners as difficult, something she has flatly rejected every time it's been raised. Then in August 2025, new haircut promo event for 7 Daughters, Wines in Inglewood, same cycle, different month. Fans wondered about her face, went back and forth on makeup versus procedure. She didn't respond that time. By January 2026 at Paris Fashion Week, showing looks from Gaurav Gupta and Tamara Ralph, the commentary had split into 2 distinct camps. One side was enthusiastic, fire emojis, gorgeous in the comments. The other side was genuinely harsh, with people suggesting she looked rough and that she needed a good dermatologist. Bored Panda documented the range at the time. What made the June 11th Knicks post different was the concentration of it. One photo in a 10-slide carousel became the smoking gun people needed to make accusations feel like analysis. It spread fast enough that Taraji caught it, processed it, and decided this time she wasn't letting it ride. The timing of all this matters because just 5 days earlier, on June 6, she was sitting across from Charlemagne, thank God, and the rest of Postbur, add dollars, I dollars pride. The Breakfast Club team, promoting her Netflix thriller, Straw, and spending a significant chunk of that interview shutting down the completely separate narrative that she and Oprah Winfrey had been at war during the Color Purple press tour. She called it BS, said she has never publicly dragged another Black woman and is not about to start, and went further, suggesting the feud story was a deliberate campaign to tank a major Black-led film. When have you ever seen me drag another woman, particularly a Black woman, ever? She said on air. Oprah had already put the same rumor to rest at the January 2024 Golden Globes, making clear that any budget decisions were Warner Bros.' call, not hers. So within 1 week, Taraji was correcting 2 completely separate false narratives about her own life. One about who she is behind the scenes professionally, one about what she looks like. Both required her to stop what she was doing, face a camera or a comment section, and explain something that she shouldn't have had to explain. That's a specific kind of exhausting. And it's a pattern that follows high-profile Black women in this industry with a consistency that's hard to ignore. Here's the thing people keep missing about Taraji's current moment. While strangers on Instagram are forensically examining her nose, she is in the middle of arguably the most ambitious professional chapter of her career, Broadway debut. 5 Tony nominations, 9 million gross and counting, a Netflix thriller in active press. She did her own glam for a playoff game and looked incredible. She pointed to her Broadway schedule when people accused her of having surgery, not as a deflection, but because it's genuinely the most direct answer to a question that shouldn't require one. And she's not operating in isolation from the larger conversation she's been having for years. She appeared on Hoda Cope's Making Space podcast in April 2026 and laid out, very clearly, the gap between her career trajectory and that of Tyrese Gibson, someone she broke through alongside in Baby Boy back in 2001. Tyrese ended up with 2 major franchises. Taraji got an Oscar nomination, a decade as Cookie Lion on Empire, a Golden Globe, and still hasn't been offered a comparable live-action franchise. She took a month-long retreat to Bali in May 2025 because the pattern of building up, getting overlooked, and starting over was taking something from her that she wasn't willing to give. The surgery speculation isn't happening in a vacuum. It's hitting a woman who has been publicly vocal about the ways Hollywood undervalues and over-scrutinizes Black women, and who is currently proving 8 times a week on a Broadway stage that she has nothing left to prove. One more thing worth noting. Not everybody in those comments was coming for her. A lot of people jumped to her defense before she even posted a word. Several people correctly pointed out that a 10-slide photo dump taken across different settings in one night is naturally going to include a range of angles, lighting conditions, and focal lengths, none of which constitute medical evidence. Someone else made the point that a truly skilled makeup beat can shift someone's appearance dramatically from photo to photo, especially under event lighting. These are not complicated concepts, but in the rush to clock a celebrity for alleged surgery, they tend to get skipped. And then, the pivot that kind of broke the whole discourse, someone spotted what appeared to be a ring on Taraji's finger in one of the photos. And suddenly, half the comment section abandoned the surgery debate entirely to speculate about whether she was engaged. One post, 10 slides, and the internet managed to run two completely separate conspiracy theories simultaneously. Where things go from here, Taraji has said what she needed to say and hasn't issued any additional statement beyond those comments. Her professional attention is on Joe Turner's Come and Gone Through, July 26th. After the run ends, she's mentioned a potential film version of the production. Debbie Allen told her, by Taraji's own account, to Deadline in May, "We going to do the film, but child, we got to do this play first." Straw is still out there in active promotion for Netflix. The speculation about her appearance is not going away. It never has. Every new event, every new photo set, every new carpet, some portion of the audience is going to compare that image to a 5-year-old red carpet shot and start typing. That's just the reality for women at her level in entertainment. And it's especially sharp for Black women in their 50s in an industry that has been calculating their value since before they walked through the door. The speculation about her appearance is not going away. It never has. Every new event, every new photo set, every new carpet, some portion of the audience is going to compare that image to a 5-year-old red carpet shot and start typing. That's just the reality for women at her level in entertainment, and it's especially sharp for Black women in their 50s in an industry that has been calculating their value since before they walked through the door. But what this week showed is that Taraji is done absorbing